الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
والفجر
By the dawn,
وليال عشر
and by the 10 nights,
والشفع والوتر
and by the even number and the odd,
والليل إذا يسر
and by the night when it passes.
هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر
Is there not in all that an oath sufficient for one of perception?
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد
Have you not considered how your Lord dealt with Ad,
إرم ذات العماد
with Iram, who had lofty pillars,
التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد
the likes of whom had never been created in the land,
وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد
and with Thamud, who carved out the rocks in the valley,
وفرعون ذي الأوتاد
and with Pharaoh, owner of the states,
الذين طغوا في البلاد
all of whom oppressed within the lands,
فأكثروا فيها الفساد
and increased therein the corruption.
فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب
So your Lord poured upon them a scourge of punishment.
إن ربك لبالمرصاد
Indeed, your Lord is in observation.
فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن
And as for man, when his Lord tries him and thus is generous to him and favors him, he says, "My Lord has honored me."
وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن
But when he tries him and restricts his provision, he says, "My Lord has humiliated me."
كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم
No, but you do not honor the orphan,
ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين
and you do not encourage one another to feed the poor,
وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما
and you consume inheritance, devouring it altogether,
وتحبون المال حبا جما
and you love wealth with immense love.
كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا
No, when the earth has been leveled, pounded and crushed,
وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا
and your Lord has come, and the angels rank upon rank,
وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى
and brought within view that day is hell. That day man will remember, but what good to him will be the remembrance?
يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي
He will say, "Oh, I wish I had sent ahead some good for my life."
فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد
So on that day, none will punish as severely as his punishment.
ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد.
And none will bind as severely as his binding of the evildoers.
يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة.
To the righteous it will be said, O reassured soul,
ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية.
return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing to him,
فادخلي في عبادي.
and enter among my righteous servants,
وادخلي جنتي.
and enter my paradise.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
لا أقسم بهذا البلد.
I swear by this city, Mecca,
وأنت حل بهذا البلد.
and you, O Muhammad, are free of restriction in this city,
ووالد وما ولد.
and by the Father and that which was born of him.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد.
We have certainly created man into hardship.
أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد.
Does he think that never will anyone overcome him?
يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا.
He says, I have spent wealth in abundance.
أيحسب أن لم يره أحد.
Does he think that no one has seen him?
ألم نجعل له عينين.
Have we not made for him 2 eyes,
ولسانا وشفتين.
and a tongue and 2 lips?
وهديناه النجدين.
And have shown him the 2 ways?
فلاقتحم العقبة.
But he has not broken through the difficult pass.
وما أدراك ما العقبة.
And what can make you know what is breaking through the difficult pass?
فك رقبة.
It is the freeing of a slave,
أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة.
or feeding on a day of severe hunger,
يتيما ذا مقربة.
an orphan of near relationship,
أو مسكينا ذا متربة.
or a needy person in misery.
ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة.
And then being among those who believed and advised one another to patience and advised one another to compassion.
أولئك أصحاب الميمنة.
Those are the companions of the right.
والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة.
But they who disbelieved in our signs, those are the companions of the left.
عليهم نار مؤصدة.
Over them will be fire closed in.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
والشمس وضحاها.
By the sun and its brightness,
والقمر إذا تلاها.
and by the moon when it follows it,
والنهار إذا جلاها.
and by the day when it displays it,
والليل إذا يغشاها.
and by the night when it conceals it,
والسماء وما بناها
and by the sky and he who constructed it,
والأرض وما طحاها
and by the earth and he who spread it,
ونفس وما سواها
and by the soul and he who proportioned it,
فألهمها فجورها وتقواها
and inspired it with discernment of its wickedness and its righteousness.
قد أفلح من زكاها
He has succeeded who purifies it,
وقد خاب من دساها
and he has failed who instills it with corruption.
كذبت ثمود بطغواها
Thamud denied their prophet by reason of their transgression,
إذ انبعث أشقاها
when the most wretched of them was sent forth.
فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها
And the messenger of Allah said to them, "Do not harm the she-camel of Allah, or prevent her from her drink."
فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها
But they denied him and hamstrung her. So their Lord brought down upon them destruction for their sin, and made it equal upon all of them.
ولا يخاف عقباها
And he does not fear the consequence thereof.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
والليل إذا يغشى
By the night when it covers,
والنهار إذا تجلى
and by the day when it appears,
وما خلق الذكر والأنثى
and by he who created the male and female.
إن سعيكم لشتى
Indeed, your efforts are diverse.
فأما من أعطى واتقى
As for he who gives and fears Allah,
وصدق بالحسنى
and believes in the best reward,
فسنيسره لليسرى
we will ease him toward ease.
وأما من بخل واستغنى
But as for he who withholds and considers himself free of need,
وكذب بالحسنى
and denies the best reward,
فسنيسره للعسرى
we will ease him toward difficulty.
وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى
And what will his wealth avail him when he falls?
إن علينا للهدى
Indeed, incumbent upon us is guidance,
وإن لنا للآخرة والأولى
and indeed, to us belongs the hereafter and the first life.
فأنذرتكم نارا تلظى
So I have warned you of a fire which is blazing.
لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى
None will enter to burn therein except the most wretched one,
الذي كذب وتولى
who had denied and turned away.
وسيجنبها الأتقى
But the righteous one will avoid it,
الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى
he who gives from his wealth to purify himself.
وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى
And not giving for anyone who has done him a favor to be rewarded,
إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى
but only seeking the countenance of his Lord Most High,
وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى.
and he is going to be satisfied.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
وَالضُّحَى
By the morning brightness,
وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى
and by the night when it covers with darkness.
مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى.
Your Lord has not taken leave of you, O Muhammad, nor has he detested you.
وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى.
And the hereafter is better for you than the first life.
وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى.
And your Lord is going to give you, and you will be satisfied.
أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى.
Did he not find you an orphan and give you refuge?
وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى.
And he found you lost and guided you.
وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى.
And he found you poor and made you self-sufficient.
فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ.
So as for the orphan, do not oppress him.
وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ.
And as for the petitioner, do not repel him.
وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ.
But as for the favor of your Lord, report it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ.
Did we not expand for you, O Muhammad, your breast?
وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ.
And we removed from you your burden,
الَّذِي أَنقَضَ ظَهْرَكَ.
which had weighed upon your back,
وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ.
and raised high for you your repute.
فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا.
For indeed, with hardship will be ease.
إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا.
Indeed, with hardship will be ease.
فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانصَبْ.
So when you have finished your duties, then stand up for worship,
وَإِلَى رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب.
and to your Lord direct your longing.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
وَالتِّينِ وَالزَّيْتُونِ.
By the fig and the olive,
وَطُورِ سِينِينَ.
and by Mount Sinai,
وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينِ.
and by this secure city, Mecca.
لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ.
We have certainly created man in the best of stature.
ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ.
Then we return him to the lowest of the low.
إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونٍ.
Except for those who believe and do righteous deeds, for they will have a reward uninterrupted.
فَمَا يُكَذِّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِالدِّينِ.
So what yet causes you to deny the recompense?
أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين.
Is not Allah the most just of judges?